Hey, so you're considering moving to Las Vegas here in Nevada, and you've heard all of the reasons why it would be a great idea to move to Las Vegas. You're almost sold on the idea, but there's something in your back of your mind thinking, maybe there's got to be something that isn't just so right, and maybe something that might put me off it. In this video, I'm going to cover some of the reasons why people are leaving Las Vegas, because it's not for everybody, and maybe some of these reasons will resonate with you. Let me know in the comments below if they do resonate with you. I'd love to hear from you, but we're going to start right now. So one of the first reasons people end up leaving Las Vegas, and it should really come as no surprise, we are living in Sin City. It does have that name for a reason, is addictions. And if you have an addictive personality, it's going to be very hard to get away from that living in Vegas. And that's no matter what your addiction is, whether that's gambling, for obvious reasons, whether that's alcoholism, whether that's drugs, if you have a sex addiction, all of these things are going to be so readily available living in Vegas that it's going to be hard to escape it. Some of you might be thinking, hey, get me to Vegas straight away. Those things sound amazing. But if you have an addictive personality, you know it's not just one drink. You know it's not just one card game. You know it's not just one escort. You know it's even though you shouldn't be doing maybe Class A drugs, you'll still go and find them because of the way your personality is. And it doesn't, it's not saying that those people are bad, it's just that their addiction. And if you're in a place that's not going to help that addiction, I don't think that's necessarily the most healthiest of decisions to make. I know someone who was addicted to gambling. He used to, on his way home, he would stop off to get groceries or to get gas, but because in Vegas and Henderson, in your grocery stores and your gas stations, you'll have slot machines, you'll have machines you can go and play, some poker machines in some of them as well. And if that's how readily available it is, you don't even need to go to the strip. You don't even need to go to a casino to be able to gamble in this city. And for me, that was definitely strange, and that was definitely a culture shock moving here, because obviously I knew about it being in the casinos, but when we went to the grocery store, we went to a Smith's grocery store, which is like a Kroger. I was like, what is this? As you walk in to the right, there was all these machines to go and gamble. It was crazy. I should have known, obviously, when you get off at the airport, it was loads of machines there, but I didn't expect it in a grocery store or a gas station. But here we are. That's what it is in Vegas. And he used to stop off for those things and end up spending loads of money in the machines. Nearly lost all of his family's life savings. Luckily, he got the help he needed, and his family took him out of state to Colorado. And I believe he's doing a lot better. He certainly doesn't have those temptations. I also know someone who used to suffer from alcoholism, used to sneak out in the middle of the night when his wife was asleep, drive, get some alcohol, whatever liquor it was of his choice, bring it back, stay in his car outside, not the engine running or anything, but stay in the car outside and just drink it in his car. And obviously he got into a bit of trouble with that as well. Luckily again though, he has a strong family unit around him, especially his mom. His mom helped him get out of state and get the help that he needed, and he's definitely doing a lot better now. Anytime you speak to him, he's doing a lot better. I know if you're addicted to drugs, again, readily available. If you have a sex addiction, obviously if you've ever been on the strip, you know how easy that sort of stuff is to facilitate. So if you suffer from those addictions and they are going to deteriorate your quality of life, I definitely don't think it's going to be a good reason. And that's definitely why some people end up leaving the Las Vegas area. And yeah, for me, that's one of the main reasons that people do leave. Another reason people end up leaving the area is because of the heat. We have 300 days of sunshine, average temperatures of the 80 degrees across the year. The summers though get very, very hot. Obviously in the summers we're probably around about 110, 115 most days. Now towards the end of September, it's starting to get a bit cooler, but even last week we were still close to the 100s. And I was actually filming in Inspirada last week and ended up getting sunburn. No surprise, I'm obviously fair skinned, but I ended up getting sunburn, and I was only out in the sun for maybe 30 minutes to an hour in total. I was probably out in the sun and ended up getting sunburn. And, a lot of people don't really know how to handle that heat. When you've lived here, you don't really tend to go out too much unless you have to when the sun is at its hottest in the afternoon. Maybe you'll do things outside in the mornings or in the evenings. Maybe you'll do a lot of things indoor as well, or maybe you'll escape to maybe Lake Havasu or Lake Mead and those type of places to cool down. But in general, people, when you come here and you come here on a vacation and you come for a few days or a week in the summer, it's great fun. You're enjoying the sun. It's a break from the cold weathers maybe where you're from. But when you're living here, it can be a bit harder to manage. And I've had so many of my clients actually leave, and one of the things they said, it was we just can't take these summers anymore. These summers are too hot. And I get it, the summers are really hot. I mean, also, yes, it's not humid, and I'd rather have the dry heat we have as opposed to the humidity that other places get. But with that dry heat, it's also important to stay hydrated. And I've told this story before, but I'm going to mention it again just for those of you who haven't heard it before. But my first summer here, in the summer of 2020, I ended up getting kidney stones, which was crazy. I never had kidney stones in my life, but it was just because I wasn't used to having to drink so much water. I wasn't feeling like I was sweating. I wasn't feeling like I needed to hydrate, but because of the dry heat, actually I did need to hydrate. And if any of you have gone through kidney stones, you'll know that I'm not exaggerating when I say that it was the most pain I'd ever had in my life. My eyes were watering. I felt like something was going to explode in my tummy. I was going from the bedroom to the bathroom, from the bedroom to the bathroom, just trying to find some position that it didn't hurt. My wife at the time lived directly across the street from a hospital, and I was like, you need to call me an ambulance. I was probably a bit of a drama queen with it, but looking back, the pain was so bad. But I was like, you need to call me an ambulance. You need to call me an ambulance. And it ended up calling me an Uber because there was no way I could walk, and the Uber just literally took me across the street. And I remember the nurse telling me, it's probably more painful than childbirth, and that's just what the nurse said. That's not my opinion because I haven't gone through childbirth. I know, looking at my wife, it also looked a lot painful, but it was really bad, and it could have been avoided if I just drank enough water. So I certainly drink a lot more water now, but that dry heat definitely caught me out. And as I said, a lot of people have ended up leaving because of the heat. They just couldn't take the heat anymore. And as the saying used to go, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, if you can't stand the heat, get out of Vegas, I guess, for some people. And yeah, I can totally understand it because it's definitely a lot hotter than some places, and certainly where I come from originally. So yeah, another reason is going to be the heat. Another reason why people end up leaving is because the cost of living. A lot of people maybe moved here prior to COVID, or maybe at the start of COVID when a lot of people could work remotely. And right then it probably was a lot more affordable, but like a lot of places in the country, I guess, but it feels like Vegas has definitely gone up steeply. The cost of living has risen. It still is an affordable option compared to, a lot of my clients are moving from California, moving from Oregon, moving from New Jersey, New York, and places where the cost of living is still quite high. But Vegas is still around 13% higher than the national average in terms of cost of living. Housing prices, which is a basic, whether that's rent or owning, is still around 30% higher as well than the national average. We have a higher sales tax as well than a lot of places, which is 8.8%. Yes, we have other tax breaks, and they definitely make up for it with the no state income tax, low property taxes, no inheritance tax. If you're setting up a business or you're entrepreneur, Vegas and Nevada in general is really friendly for that sort of stuff as well. So there are caveats to that, but in general, the cost of living has risen a lot over the last few years. And some people that moved here just prior to COVID or at the start of COVID have found that steep increase a little bit too much, and they've ended up leaving because for them, they don't find it as an affordable option anymore. And again, I've had people that have left here and gone to Texas. Actually, not too long ago, someone moved to Texas, and that was one of the reasons he cited to me was, the cost of living here now compared to Texas for him was just working out better moving to Texas. So cost of living is another reason why people are leaving Vegas, even though I would still caveat that with if you're moving from any of the other states that have an even higher cost of living, you're going to still save money moving to Vegas. Another reason why people are leaving, and I hear this all the time, is it's starting to feel maybe a bit overcrowded for some people. It used to not have that massive net migration. It's always been a positive net migration, but now it's a really big net migration in the positives. It was recently rated, depending on again what publication you read, some have us down as first, some have us down as second, some have us down as third, but it's always the top three in terms of places that people are either relocating to or want to relocate to. And it is an attractive option. It is still a really great place to relocate to from wherever you're moving from. But because of that, for some people, again, who moved here prior to the sharp rise of people moving here, it's maybe starting to feel a bit overcrowded. Maybe the roads are starting to feel a lot busier than they used to be, and that's why there's a lot of construction going on the roads now to make them even wider. Some of the communities now are probably feeling a bit squashed together. Some of those newer communities, if you think of Inspiratus, Cadence, just to name two in my area in Henderson, compared to Green Valley, where the homes are a bit more spaced out because it's an older community. for some people it's just feeling too much, and they want to escape that overcrowdedness, and they feel it's only going to get worse. So they're moving to places where they feel that they have a bit more open space to enjoy. For me personally, I don't feel it is overcrowded, but obviously I moved here only 3 years ago, and it was still a lot of people moving here then, even though we were in COVID times. But for some people, it just feels that mix of so many more people are moving here, plus the tourists are coming back now, and it's just feeling overcrowded, as I said. So again, that's another reason why people are leaving Las Vegas. Another reason why people are leaving Las Vegas, and definitely as a parent, this was one of my concerns originally. So if you have children of any age, of school age, should I say, you might be thinking about this as well. But a lot of people are tending to leave at the moment for schooling. We had a family friend who left for schooling, and she actually worked for CCSD, but she still left and moved to Florida because she was not happy with the schooling here. So, CCSD often gets ranked as one of the worst. It's often rated as 49 out of 50, which is really bad. I mean, only one that's worse than the school district here. But, Clark County School District, it covers a huge area. It's probably the 5th largest in the whole country. And I always caveat the rankings of CCSD with the fact of, if you were to break it up, and if Summerlin was to have its own school district, and Henderson was to have its own school district, and even Boulder City was to have its own school district, I would guarantee that they would rank quite highly on the list. But some of the other schools do let it down. I'm not going to name those schools, but I can definitely have those conversations with you. And again, if schooling's important, my details, I'll put them on the bottom of the screen there. Reach out to me, whenever you're ready. Pause this, take the screenshot, save my details, and then give me a call or text or email when you're ready, and we can have more of a conversation about schooling, and I can share my insights, and I can bring up, if we're on a Zoom, I can bring up my screen and we can go through the schools one by one, and you can sort of see what I'm talking about. But for some people, the schooling is a big issue, and right now at the moment, in fact, we have a dispute. The teachers have a huge dispute going on over getting the pay that they deserve. My opinion, they deserve all of the money that they can get, because they do a phenomenal job. The teachers at my kids' school in Green Valley, they are fantastic, and I can't imagine why someone would decide that they don't deserve any sort of pay rise to bring them in line with the national average. I can only imagine, I've got 5 kids, I can only imagine having a classroom of 20, 30 of that type of children. Having patience as a parent is different to having patience as a teacher, and my gosh, the work that they do, and all of my kids love their teachers, and they're all doing really well at school, even though they're in 5th grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade. Across the board, they're doing really, really well. So I definitely think they deserve all the money that they can get. And if you are a teacher watching this, I give you my utmost respect and heartfelt thanks for what you do for the kids. But what's been happening recently is some schools have had to close for the day because of a mass sickness of teachers not being able to come in, or mass absence of teachers not being able to come in. Some of the schools have closed, and as a parent, obviously that can be annoying if you have plans and you got work, and you don't have any childcare lined up, and you think your child's going to be in school. It can sort of throw things. Now, Henderson obviously opened up the multi-generation and had things there where the kids could go that were affected by some of the school closures, which was fantastic. And I know they had a similar thing in Vegas. But that just shows that at the moment it's probably a bit of an unsettled school district until those sort of things get ironed out. It's hard to go forward when you're at this sort of stalemate. And hopefully by the time this video gets published, hopefully those things do get sorted out. As I'm filming this though, at the middle of September, it's not really sorted out at the moment. And as I said, I've had a family friend who's moved, and she used to work in CCSD, and she moved because of the schooling. And she's not the only one. A lot of parents have taken their kids out of the state because they just think the schooling here just isn't on par. And as a parent, I can't really blame them or hold anything against them for that, because schooling is super important. So that's definitely another big reason why people are leaving Las Vegas. Then the final reason is going to be healthcare. A lot of people end up coming here and getting attracted by all the positive things, but they overlook healthcare, and sometimes the healthcare in the Vegas and Henderson area can not be on par with other parts. Now, there has been a huge investment. There's been a lot more brought into the area to help that. But one of the big issues used to be access to good providers. There's definitely a lot more good providers now than when I first moved here. And, we had a couple of bad ones at the start, but we've had to do the research to find the good doctors. luckily for me, my primary care and my dentist are both in Henderson. My wife, though, she goes to her own. We don't even have the same. We have a difference of opinion over who we want to use, and she goes to a different primary care and she goes to a different dentist, and she actually travels the opposite way. And then our kids, they obviously have their own pediatric ones. One of the kids' pediatric doctors, primary care, is in Henderson, and then their dentist, we had to go all the way across to the southwest of Las Vegas to put them in a good dentistry. And we had to do loads of research around that. And there are really good providers, but there are also really bad providers that some of them are just like boom, 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 in, out, trying to get you in and out as quick as possible, not even listening to your concerns. Some of them are just bad practitioners in general. Some of them just want to throw medicine at you, 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 trying to, pump you with whatever meds. Maybe they're influenced by the pharma companies, or maybe they just think that's the easier option, and rather than listening to your concerns and coming up with maybe changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, those sort of things, which my primary care, that's what she does. She at my last yearly checkup, she sat me down and said, Peter, I don't want to give you a course of meds for the rest of your life. I want you to do this, 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 and hopefully then you'll be able to take care of it yourself. That isn't always the case, though, because some doctors will be bum, 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 meds, meds, meds. So there are some really bad physicians, and there are also some really good ones. You have to do the research, though, or you could end up with a bad one, and that's just going to ruin your whole opinion of healthcare in general in Vegas and Henderson. 2 or 3 times we've been in hospitals, whether that was Sunrise when our daughter was born, we were in St. Rose when our daughter was a bit sick. I was also in Desert Springs, I think it was, when I had my kidney stones. Never once had any issues with any of the hospitals here or the urgent care places. So as I said, I've been lucky maybe that I haven't had too many bad. We had a few bad experiences at the start, and then we decided to take it into our own hands and do that research and find a good one. So if you are concerned about healthcare, what I would say is be prepared to maybe travel a little bit further to go to the ones, because they're not zoned. It's not like schools. You can go to whichever one you please once it fits in with your insurance, if that's a factor. So just be prepared to travel and be prepared to do the research, because if you get stuck with one in your local area, well, it isn't a good one, you're going to think the whole of the healthcare sucks in the air. And that's why some people leave, is they get trapped with a bad provider and they're like, forget this, I'm going to move to wherever they were, maybe where they had a good family doctor that they'd known for years, and they go back to that. So healthcare in the area can be bad, can be good, but it's up to you to go and find the good ones. And if you want help with where I found my ones, then again, you're welcome to reach out, whether you're buying a home with me or not. If you are still moving to the area, you're welcome to reach out, and I'll give you my details, or the ones that I've used for sure. That's it, guys. That's some reasons why people are leaving Las Vegas. Now, if there's things that I haven't mentioned, as I said at the start, that bother you, then pop that down in the comments below. If you have left Las Vegas and you're still watching these types of videos about living in Las Vegas for whatever reason, I have no idea why someone would watch these videos if they've already left Las Vegas and decided it's not for them, but each to their own. And if you are one of those people, thank you for still watching my videos. Also, pop it down in the comments below, the reasons why maybe you left as well. And again, maybe you'll help some others that are looking at these types of things. We might have a back and forward in the comments, and I'll share my experiences on the things that you mentioned. But it'll be good. I'm open to discussion. I never say I'm right, and my opinion is the only opinion. We all have different opinions. We're all living life at the same time, but we're all living it through different lenses. So don't be afraid to jump in the comments and give me your experiences as well, because I do appreciate you who have lived different experiences popping that in there, because I learned from that as well. If you have found value from this video or any of my other videos, then please go ahead and subscribe and tap on the bell for notifications, and you'll know about everything that's happening here in Vegas and Henderson. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it definitely helps my channel grow, and I am massively appreciative of everybody who is a subscriber. If you are a subscriber and you are in town and we get to meet up, let me know, and I'll maybe treat you to a coffee or beer, whatever it is your drink of choice. We'll definitely get one as a thank you, because I cannot thank you guys enough. And also, if you like this video and you feel this video has given you some good value as well and some things to think about, go ahead and like the video as well, because it's going to help this video be in front of more people as well. But again, thank you to everyone who's already a subscriber. I'm so my numbers are going up slowly, and I'm looking at those numbers, but I'm so thankful for all 716 of you, I think it is, maybe a little bit more of you who have subscribed. And I know if I could thank you all individually, I would. Just as a reminder, if you are thinking about moving to the Vegas or Henderson area, please get in touch. I would really love to help you. I'll do everything I can to make the move as easy and as stress-free as possible for you. If I sound like the type of agent that you would want to work with, not work for, work with, then definitely get in touch. This is exactly how I am in person. You know, I'm not a pushy salesperson. I'm not one of those slick salespeople. I'm just me. This is just who I am. So if that resonates with you and you believe that you'd like to work with someone like me, then definitely do give me the chance to earn your business, and do get in touch, whatever means possible down below. Thank you to everyone who has already reached out to me. It staggers me the amount of you that have actually reached out to me and picked up the phone, dropped me an email, booked a Zoom call, whichever it is, the way that you've reached out. I super appreciate it all. We have some really good conversations, especially those first conversations. And some of you, if you're still watching my videos and we've had those first conversations, or we've met in person, some of those conversations are really great conversations. And they're the bit that I love most about my business. I love those conversations at the start, and I love the reward at the end of getting you your home and handing you your keys and giving you a congratulations. It's a lot of fun in between, but those two moments always stick out to me. So thank you to everyone who has reached out and given me those moments. I super appreciate it. It's why I do what I do and why I enjoy what I do. Until the next time, though, guys, thank you for watching, and you take care.